The world was taken by surprise by the COVID-19 pandemic. Mankind was caught unprepared. Many lives were gone with a lonely death. Many people got sick. Worry clouded many minds. Fear reigned in many hearts. Jobs are affected. Economy started to flop. With a global wave, quarantine came and many were forced to stay home for months. Amidst the chaos this pandemic brought mankind, and despite its negative effects, positive outcome arose. The earth began to heal as mankind's abusive ways came to a halt. Good hearts volunteered to help and provide needs. Lives started to declutter as simple living were rediscovered by many. Houses became homes as family bonding strengthened. Homes welcomed God as many forms of prayers and spiritual talks flooded social media. Mankind came face to face with the truths that money is temporary, possessions are temporary, career is temporary, life is temporary. We came to the naked truth that no matter how man thinks how great he is, he can be helpless and has to rely only in God who is not temporary, who is eternal. As the world slowly gets on its way to begin to take the road to recovery, with the threat of the virus still lingering around, we are now faced with the challenge of adopting the new normal. We cannot go back to the old normal, to our old plans, to our old lifestyle. But what is the new normal? The basics, trending in the social media, are the wearing of face masks, frequent hand washing and sanitizing, physical distancing, staying at home more, and avoiding public places and mass gatherings. There are guidelines being issued by public and private entities to ensure safety precautions are carried on by individuals. But is this truly the new normal? Until when? Until vaccines for COVID-19 are globally available? Then what? When this pandemic is over, do we go back again to the old normal, wherein mankind abuses nature, lives as it pleases, lives a lifestyle ignoring God, eating unhealthy food, discriminating others, spreading hatred, craving for material possessions and power, and so on and so forth? This new normal is not actually the new normal. It is just a transition, a road to recovery, a transition from the old normal to the COVID-19 invasion, to quarantine, to road to recovery, to the true normal. So what is the new true normal? Remember the apostles of Jesus as their lives were threatened after his death? They stayed in quarantine in the upper room. Different emotions welled up from them. That time, they came face to face with a decision to stay believing in Jesus or to abandon the faith and go back to their old normal lives. Jesus' arrest, passion, and death brought out into the open what are needed to be transformed in them. Jesus resurrected and came to them. His presence strengthened their faith and conviction. The descent of the Holy Spirit sealed their belief and identity as Jesus' apostles. Their quarantine ended, though the threat on their lives still lingered. As they went out to the streets to carry on the works of Jesus, they were changed men with new spirit, with renewed faith. They did not return to their old normal self and lifestyle. They took on a new path following the lead of the Holy Spirit. A certain priest named Father Goyo posted in his social media account and said, "Lord, I give you permission to ruin my plans with your wonderful surprises, if that means that I become better by following your will, even when I don't understand it, even when I become frustrated or upset. Don't pay attention to my upset and keep on with your plans anyway." Certainly, the plans of the apostles back then were ruined, but they deeply listened to God and followed His will. In a similar way, our plans and lifestyles are definitely ruined. Some even joked that the worst thing one could have bought this year was a 2020 planner. Though COVID-19 brought a global disaster to mankind, God used it to give us the gift of sight of how badly we lived our lives in the old normal. We cannot go back to it when this pandemic is fully over. God is giving us a chance to a new normal, which is living in a way that allows Him to move more in our lives. It is a lifestyle that is decluttered from worldly things, a lifestyle choosing to live healthily for our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. A lifestyle that spreads His love and not hatred and materialism. A lifestyle that is entrusted in God in full faith. A lifestyle lived with hearts and minds that deeply listens to the voice of His Spirit. A lifestyle that connects harmoniously and compassionately with others. In the old normal, many were being drifted away by worldly treasures and by playing God of their lives and on the lives of others. May we truly learn our lessons from this experience with this pandemic for our sake and for the sake of future generation. The future is still unsure. We do not know when this pandemic shall end. There were those who lost their loved ones, lost their jobs, lost their hope. But life has to go on. We can only put our trust in God's hand and in His unfailing love for us. God shall make a way. And while He is paving that way for us, let us live as transformed children of God and bring more good in this world. Let us strive to not ever go back to the old normal, but set our hearts and transition our lives to the new normal God is calling us to live, where the fulfillment of His promises can pour abundantly. Let God be God in your life.